The Crooked Christmas Tree by Marina Hase. Once upon a time there was a little old lady named Mary who truly embodied the Christmas spirit. As the festive season approached and commenced, Mary threw herself wholeheartedly into the preparations and celebrations, baking, decorating, crafting, and shopping tirelessly to create a magical holiday atmosphere. She baked special Christmas cookies tailored to her friends' unique needs and wishes, vegan, gluten-free, or simply their favorites. She created personalized advent calendars and gifts, helped others find the perfect presents, and always made time to lend a listening ear to anyone grappling with year-end or other troubles. All of this she managed on top of her already busy life, which didn't slow down for the holiday season. One of Mary's beloved traditions was hosting several Christmas teas at her home. Her house was always a sight to behold, decorated to transport her guests into a world of wonder, laughter, and joy. At the heart of it all stood a small Christmas tree. A real tree, of course. Mary believed plastic ones lacked the soul of Christmas. This year, however, Mary was unusually pressed for time. Instead of visiting the market to handpick her perfect tree, she ordered a Christmas tree in a flower pot online. When it arrived, Mary eagerly unpacked it, only to notice that it was slightly crooked. Mary sighed. For a moment she thought about discarding it and finding a replacement, but instead she decided to make do. She carefully adjusted and rotated it, searching for the best angle to hide its imperfection, then set about decorating it. With her expert touch, the crookedness was barely noticeable, and no one else could tell. Still, Mary knew, and the flaw lingered in her heart, subtly dampening her Christmas joy. As Advent progressed, the tree's crookedness grew more pronounced. To make matters worse, its needles began to fall off at the slightest touch. No adjustments could fix it now. Yet with her packed schedule of spreading Christmas cheer, Mary simply did not have the time or energy to replace it. She chose to ignore the crookedness of the tree as best she could, focusing instead on her endless to-do list. One evening after a particularly long day, when nothing had seemed to go right, Mary collapsed onto her couch, utterly drained. Her gaze fell on the now hopelessly crooked tree. In that moment all the frustration she had been holding back surged to the surface. Tears welled up and she began to cry. It wasn't just the tree, everything felt crooked this year. No matter how hard she tried, nothing seemed to go perfectly. As she sat there sniffling into her tea, something extraordinary happened. The Christmas tree spoke to her. "Mary, why are you crying?" it asked gently. "I may not be perfectly straight, but my crookedness has a story to tell you. At Christmas we celebrate the birth of Jesus. He didn't come for the perfect, but for those who were far from it. Think of that woman at the well, Mary Magdalene, and Zacchaeus. They were flawed, and yet they were loved and transformed. Sometimes it's our imperfections that make us unique, special, and truly interesting. It's okay to be imperfect. Learn to accept yourself with all your strengths and weaknesses, just as I embrace my crookedness. I may be a flawed Christmas tree, but I stand proudly, unapologetically myself. And that's enough." Also, remember the quotations. "Perfect is the enemy of good," from Voltaire, and "perfection is the enemy of progress," from Churchill. Don't trap yourself in an endless race for unattainable perfection, nor let the fear of imperfection stop you from starting at all. And finally, reflect on the story of Mary and Martha from the Bible. Sometimes the greatest gift is simply to be, to sit, rest, and appreciate the moment, rather than rushing to achieve perfection. Startled, Mary leaned closer to the tree, trying to find the source of the voice. And then she suddenly awoke. She had cried herself to sleep, and it had all been a dream. But what a dream it was! From that year forward, Mary purposely chose a crooked Christmas tree each Christmas. It became her unique Christmas symbol, a whimsical reminder to herself and others that the perfect Christmas and the perfect life is full of imperfections. What truly matters is how we accept those imperfections and make the best of them. And, in our pursuit of excellence, to remember not to take this perfection thing too seriously.